Okay, so today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I actually saw this video pop up on my feed here, and it's called "Hanging with Hasidics Part 1." Um, Amazing behind closed door tour around Crown Heights with Rabbi Yoni Katz. So maybe I guess I'll learn a little bit of something here.
Hi, my name is Rabbi Yoni Katz. I live here in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, with my wife and 7 children. And on a daily
Whew, 7 kids. My goodness. Wowza.
basis, I get to show people around this beautiful neighborhood, Hasidic Brooklyn. You see, 10 years ago, the face of Brooklyn began to change. You had people here with beards, not for Hasidic purposes. They're what we call hipsters. Caused a little bit of tension, to be honest.
Really, the hipster movement was a bit of an issue, eh? Their beards versus their beards. Okay.
You have two very different cultures living so close together. So being a young, idealistic rabbi, I decided I'm going to attack this head on. I decided to make a campaign and I called it Unite the Beards. Hasid and hipster, not as different as you think. Well,
Oh, I like that artwork. Hipster one side, Hasidic Jew on the other. That's awesome.
when you think Hasidic Brooklyn, you typically think reclusive, isolated, closed off, mysterious to the
Yeah, I would agree with all those. I think before I started going down this kind of journey of learning the Jewish music and everything, I guess I thought a lot of it was very closed off just to the group itself, you know?
outside world. If you're going to have very separate communities, especially living so
That looked like they were
mysterious to the outside world,
this looks like that the event that just passed with the Sukkot, and they had the 3 different plants with the lemon. No, it's not a lemon, it's a Ertgot, I think it is, something like that. Because I've seen those tents before set up where they were, it's kind of like a market.
if you're going to have very separate communities, especially living so close to each other, you're not going to have a unified world. You're going to have a very divided world, especially here in Brooklyn. Every few blocks is a whole different culture.
Very true.
I put it up on Airbnb and it really took off. And people from all around the world started booking this Airbnb experience, it's called. And 90% of this tour is behind closed doors. I'm going to show you around the neighborhood.
No, that's very interesting. Because I think I had asked about that in another video where they were doing video recordings or like a music video in like sacred spaces type of thing. And I was wondering if that's kind of frowned upon or not really allowed, but this guy's doing a full-on like experience for people to do that.
Take you to places that are usually not so open to anyone who just walks off the street, but you're hanging with me. Welcome to Brooklyn, to Crown Heights. You're hanging with Hasidics.
You got the VIP pass from this guy here.
I want to go to the synagogue first. The most famous synagogue in the world, 770 Eastern Parkway, the headquarters of the Chabad Lubavitch worldwide movement. Listen to the name of the neighborhood, Crown Heights. Is that amazing? King Messiah, Crown Heights.
Mashiach now, how you doing?
My friend.
This is my friend Rabbi
See? Isn't that the plant?
Katz. We're here at the Lubavitch World Headquarters on the holiday of Sukkot. We have the 4 species here. You want to look at my esrog? It's one of the most
Esrig? Esrig, okay. And yeah, so like he said, the Sukkot. Okay, cool, I was right.
beautiful ones in town. Why? Because it's the most used. You see, it's brown over here. That means it's used. The more
That's a
people that make a
big
blessing
one.
on it, the more special it is. But here we got this lulav. It's called the lulav. I'm not sure how it's called in English.
Palm branch.
Palm branch. It grows on top of the palm
Palm
tree.
branch, okay.
And we have these hadassim. And in between over here, we got the harava. What is
Willow.
The willow branch.
Okay, so it's a palm, a willow, and I don't know what that other one is. And then you have the citrus fruit. Cool.
You hear that noise? It's a circumcision.
Oh, this guy with his dad jokes. You hear that? There's a circumcision. That's funny. That is funny.
Now we're going into the headquarters of the worldwide Chabad Lubavitch movement, 770 Eastern Parkway.
I would have never guessed that that's what a synagogue, or like this was a synagogue off the outside. I guess I was expecting more of like what I'm used to, which is like a church. Not to say that this isn't a church, I guess, or maybe synagogues are considered not to be churches, but I guess the aesthetic of a church is what I was thinking.
Okay. So this is where I studied and I got my rabbinical ordination. I sat here for 2 years studying 5 parts of Jewish law. I studied on these very benches. We called it bench pressing.
Oh boy, that was a lame one. But this is like, yeah, those rooms that we've seen in the music videos where the gentlemen are sitting across from each other and studying and like discussing things. It kind of looks like.
That was for you. When the movement came here, you could literally fit the whole movement almost into this tiny room. You had the remnants coming from
that kid's doing the shuckling. Is that what it was called? The shuckling.
Russia. So the movement came here in 1940. They were in Warsaw, Poland. And actually they were saved by a Nazi SS officer whose father was Jewish, smuggled the rabbi and his family from Warsaw to Berlin in 1940. Eventually they made their way to Riga, Latvia, to Sweden, and they came on one of the last boats to get out. They came to the shores of the United States in 1940.
Wow. Okay. From Russia, Poland, a Nazi SSR guy because his father was Jewish, and then they went to Latvia, where I think somebody had said the Vilna was in there, was part of Latvia, correct?
They came to New York and they said, ask the rabbi, where do you want to move to? Where do you want to relocate to? He said, I want to come to Crown Heights. You can see the boys learning.
But how did he know what Crown Heights was in 1940 if they had never been to New York? Or was there already like an established Jewish community in 1940 in New York?
Shuckling, that's called shuckling. Hasidic is actually from the Hebrew word of chesed, of kindness. Like I was saying before, that we don't serve God out of the kindness that it does for us. We serve God out of the kindness that it does for God, not as our ticket to heaven. That's at the root of the Hasidic philosophy. So Hasidic is from the Hebrew word of chesed, which means kindness. So follow me down these stairs.
So not out of the kindness of their heart, but of the kindness for God. Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this is very much giving me like the vibes of my church back when I was in Catholic school. The basement of the church had a lot of this open space. They kind of had some sort of events here. But here is like set up a whole nother area.
Right now we're in the main sanctuary of 770. This is where I take people when they come on the tours. And as you can see, it's yeshiva students, rabbis, learning, praying as far as the eye could see.
Wow. These books have gone through the ringers. Look how tattered and beat up these books are. Outside of the ones on the shelves, obviously these ones don't look like they're kept up in the best condition, or they're just tossed like that, but even the ones on the shelf are really beat up.
This is a massive synagogue. As I said, by all accounts, I think this is the most famous synagogue in the world today, simply known by its address, 770 Eastern Parkway.
So, sorry to pause again, but in terms of synagogue, is this lower portion that they're in considered the synagogue? Is the building the synagogue? And is this where they would have like, do they do praying down here? Is the praying done upstairs? Does a rabbi lead a prayer, kind of like a priest leads a sermon type of thing?
Look at this. Jewish life is alive. Jewish pride. Jewish identity.
Yeah, like,
If you came to Crown Heights decades ago, people would have thought this was impossible. Amazing. Follow me.
yeah, like, look at those books. Those books are so beat up. Holy smokes.
This is my friend Zelig, a young rabbinical student.
Okay, so that's a lot of like plywood right here. You guys can't see the other one because I'm here, but there's plywood right here, there's plywood right here, stacks of it. What's the purpose of all that plywood? Maybe repairs or something, or?
We expect big things from you, Zelig. This again is the bima where the Torah scroll is read. This is a dear friend of mine, Rabbi Katzman. He wants to know why only in Crown Heights is the only place that will offer a Torah like Rabbi Epstein did, like allows outsiders, Jews and non-Jews alike, to come inside the heart of their neighborhood.
Why do the people from Crown Heights do all kinds of wacky things?
I love this guy's voice. Holy moly. He's got a beautiful voice. I love that accent that he's got, that like New York accent.
I mean, you find us in India and in China and in Siberia and in the North Pole. And I don't know, lately they haven't been flying shuttles to the moon. So nobody knows if we're there or not.
Oh my god, all these cheesy dad jokes. Yeah, look at these books. They're all taped up and everything. Wow. Is that just because they're not printing new books anymore? Because, like, they're not really, I guess, popular, or what?
A Hasidic Jew from Crown Heights has one mission, and that is to bring Mashiach, which means to bring salvation and bring God's light to the world. You got to go out, you got to reach out, you have something good, you got to share it with everybody.
Look at those kids on the pole.
That kind of sounds like, what are they, Mormons? Whenever I used to take the Toronto public transit, there would always be those people in like the white button-up shirts with their name tags, and they'd always come up to you and talk to you and try to bring you to their church of Jesus Christ. And a lot of them also, I guess, because they would go around spreading the word or talking to lots of people, they actually learned quite a lot of languages, because I would see them talking to people that were Chinese or Filipino or Spanish, and they would be speaking in their languages as well. So that was pretty cool.
It's not gym time here. We're approaching the Ark, what we call the Aron Kodesh, where they keep the Torah scrolls that they pray from.
Hey, this looks like the Ark that was in the Tanya video. Yeah, cool.
On Sabbath and a little bit on Mondays and Thursdays. We have someone shaking the palm branch here. And the citron fruit, the one that we learned about outside from our friend. It's customary when you come by the Ark, you would like kiss it to acknowledge it, the holiness.
Does this thing get washed? Not to say that he's dirty, but I could just imagine the amount of hands and the amount of mouths that go on this. Does this sheet, quilt, whatever you want to call it, does that ever get washed?
Sanctity. God is alive and well in Crown Heights. And from here, it expands throughout the world. Even places like Pittsburgh, right? Have you ever seen a place like this? It's amazing, huh? Throughout the day, you can catch prayer services, morning, afternoon, and evening, starting almost every 15 minutes. I live 5 minutes from your restaurant. I'm saying I live during the summer. Check this out. I'm missing the prayer belt called the gartel. When all else fails.
Oh, so you have to wear a prayer belt as well? I did not realize that. I don't think I've ever noticed the belt. Unless the belt was made of a different type of fabric or like a rope or something.
You are 80?
You know, I find it interesting that after all this time that he's studied, became a rabbi, and the amount of times he prays throughout the day, because it's like 3 or more times a day, right? That you would still need the book. Maybe you don't, maybe it's just symbolic, maybe it's just a habit, but I would assume that you would probably have the words memorized or the passages memorized by now. I could be wrong though.
Let's get some of the sunlight.
Pretty cool.
It's estimated that there are 20,000 Hasidic.
Now, sorry, I know, I'll go back just a little bit. Now, I know he said that the prayers happen every 15 minutes. Do you pray for a full 15, or do you pray for like 5 minutes, or does the length of the prayer matter?
It's estimated that there are 20,000 Hasidic Jews living in this neighborhood.
That's a lot.
And it's a great place to live. But this time of the year, you have groups, Hasidic groups from all parts of Brooklyn visiting because of the holidays. I just wanted to take you inside. This is a special tent that's set up for the holiday time because there's no room left in the main synagogue.
Yeah, I mean, if all, say, 20,000, or maybe even half of that, right? 10,000, say the other 10 is females, and this looks like a whole male event here, or like men here at the synagogue. I could imagine that, yeah, it's not gonna fit all 10,000 plus people. So
As big as that room was, it's still not large enough to facilitate the amount of overflowing crowds that we have. So here, this is the temporary hut that we eat in for 7 days.
ah, cool.
It represents when the Jewish people were leaving Egypt, God escorted them out in clouds of glory. So to remind us of the clouds of glory and how they were.
Wow, that guy is like shuckling quite like deeply and intensely. I'm guessing the depth or the intensity of the shuckle doesn't matter, or does it? Also, this temporary hut, so this is put up every year, or it's only used during this time of the year and kept up like for the rest of the time?
Were protected and saved from the elements. We built a temporary dwelling and we eat in it all our meals. This place is like just amazing.
Yeah, I love his outfit. Look how crisp and shiny his shoes are. Look.
Meals. This place is like
Woo, look at that shine off those shoes. Very nice.
just amazing. You can come out at any time, any hour during the day and night, and get into a good Hasidic philosophy discussion. Hear some good Jewish Hasidic music.
That'd be cool.
This place never sleeps. I'm sure you heard of New York never sleeps. Crown Heights definitely never sleeps. What time it wakes up is a different story. You could get some kosher
Oh, this guy's jokes, man.
sushi at Nori Bar.
Did you just say kosher sushi? Now, does fish count as kosher? Because I thought the kosher process was like the animals with the hooves are able to be eaten, and that a lot of them need to be drained of all their blood. And then there's only like specific poultry I think you guys are eat, like chicken, turkey for sure. I think I know of. I don't know. I think there might be a few more. But also, I didn't know fish. Well, I guess fish makes sense, but what makes the fish kosher? Is it just the process of cleaning it out and all that stuff?
Or the world famous Gumbo's Haimisha or Hamisha Bakery. This is where I take my tours. This is why every tour that comes.
Oh, challah. Challah is a type
they
of
get
bread,
to come
right?
in to Gumbo's Bakery and they get a rugelach. Look at the amazing challah.
Challah, yeah, there. Okay. So ragala or challah. I only remember challah, I think, because of Seinfeld. I'm a big Seinfeld fan. I love Seinfeld, and I think in one of the episodes, Jerry or Elaine mentioned challah. I think they were at a bakery.
And they come out happy and fulfilled. Like, this is my friend Yehuda Chaskelovich,
I didn't want to interrupt.
the rabbi with the skateboard. Look at that.
You know.
He's not very good at the skateboard, but maybe he's just getting into it.
And the best way when my capote goes out, it's like Superman.
Capate, that's the trench coat, overcoat type of thing. Capate.
And here we are during this month of the Jewish holidays, the month of Tishrei, as we call it, is a destination.
So Tishrei is that's the name of the whole festival, right? Or the celebration?
For Jewish people from around the world, from Israel, from France. So where do they all come?
Is there a big Jewish population in France?
Come to 1349 president, the Rubashkin home, my very own cousin.
Wow. So this guy opens up his house to all of the Jewish people that are coming around for this specific holiday festival thing. That's pretty cool. Just follow me into this dark alley. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
And these are some of our our children. We're at my brother-in-law's sukkah. So this sukkah, as you
Sukkah. Okay, I kept saying sukkot, so it's called sukkah. Okay.
can see by the bamboo ceiling, is a very temporary hut, temporary dwelling for the festival. We try to do as much as we can in the sukkah. And this is Shayna, as a father of 7, not only you're a father, but you're a walking jungle gym. Look at this. She's doing calisthenics. This is my baby.
I mean, not even a father of 7, just a father in general, you become something like that. Father of 7, though, wow.
He's number 7. His name is Menachem Mendel. 8 days after a baby's born, they have to have a circumcision. So his circumcision fell out on April 15th. Of course, we had a massive tour book that day. 50.
Now, question. In terms of the circumcisions, and this might be a long comment if anybody explains this. I'm sure I could just Google it and look it up. But what is the actual purpose of it in the Jewish, I guess, religion? Because if, say, God gave you the foreskin of the penis when you were born, what is the benefit or what is the purpose of removing that, and especially within an 8-day period? Because if God had given you that when you were created, what is the purpose of removing it? Honest question.
People from a Reformed Jewish synagogue in Philadelphia. What's a tour guide to do? I was in a bind, sort of like Isaac back in the day. So what we did is we naturally invited them. It was one of the stops on the tour. We had 50 guests at the circumcision. We're not here to...
He had 50 strangers come to his son's circumcision. Oh, that's hilarious.
serve a selfish purpose, but rather a selfless purpose. How can we best all serve God in the best way possible, in a united way? Not just Jewish people, but non-Jewish people. All religions are meant here to serve God in a unified community. The world is one big community, one word. And I'm going to stop there because... hey, this is Genkele. Mein Teile, mein Gute und mein Sieg.
Oh, that was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. Inside the home of an Orthodox Jewish family. Oh, we'll have to definitely check this one out. Maybe he'll invite us into his. It looks like it's him and his family. But wow, that was an awesome video. Definitely learned a lot. A lot of things I did understand because of some of the videos we've been watching, which has been fantastic. But let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Bell notification to keep up to date with when I post, and also don't forget to subscribe. We just passed 3,500, so that's been amazing. And thank you so much, guys. All right.